3, 2, 1. Activate.
This is a can of Style, Control, Damage and Aggression, and it's an IPA from Pomona Island, and it's also a homage to the late 90s, early noughties juggernaut of pop culture that is Robot Wars. Now, I was just going to drink this, and then I thought, do you know what, I'm going to use this beer as an excuse to talk about some of these. These are some of the, you can't even really see that, can you? These are, positioning. These are Robot Wars toys from the 90s and early noughties, and I thought it'd be fun just to talk about them for a little bit of time whilst I drink a beer. So that's exactly what I'm going to do now. A bit of info on this actually. It's 6.5% and it's vegan, so that's fun. And there's a little blurb on the back. Pick up a can, it's time to play. Let's have a sip of a double dry hopped IPA. Activate. And it also states that there's Cryo, Simcoe, Strata, Citra and Mosaic in there. Chances are though, if you've clicked on this video, you don't actually give a shit about the beer, which is fair, I suppose. So, where shall we start? Well, let's start with, let's get Exterminator out of the way actually. I'm going to start with this bad boy. Hey, look at him. Look how gold he is. This is Shunt. It's a golden shunt, you may have noticed. I didn't know this existed when I was a kid. I actually got one much later in my adult life. It's basically just the shunt toy, but painted gold, and it was released as part of a special edition for something. It's also covered in dust and cobwebs because I've been having it on a shelf like some kind of trophy. I might mount it and pretend it's an award for something. But a little bit of action feature in this one. It's got an axe that does that. You have to like push it back, and there's like a little spring ball joint here, and the axe itself is really wobbly, so I want to try and be careful. But you basically push down on the back of the axe and it launches like that. And this one had an interesting thing, because if, like me, you couldn't tell which end of shunt was which, technically speaking you could use either, I suppose, because a lot of the media had it facing that way, so you were like, oh, that's the front of shunt. No, that's the front of shunt. Or is that the front of shunt? Is that the front of shunt? Who knows? So this actually had it had a pullback motor, so, you know, you'd pull it back and then it would go whee! But also, it had these bumper things, so if it crashed into things, it was like a bump and go. So it would crash in and then it would reverse and turn the other way, which is neat, isn't it? I do also have, don't fall off the table, there we go. I do also have the normal coloured version. That's what it looked like normally, and it had like a lot more battle scarring and stuff on it. It actually looked in much worse nick than Shunt does now. It's still out there. When I went to go see the filming for the new series, which I did do, and there'll be a clip of that later on, I didn't get to see Shunt, but apparently he's still in one piece. A lot of people thought that he must have been cannibalised for parts, but as we all saw when they tried to bring back Robot Wars a few years ago, they're still out there in some capacity, which is good to know. Next, I'll do another house robot. We've got this old gal, everyone's favourite, Matilda. The house robots were the first range, I think, of toys that were produced for the series, so they're the least accurate. They were kind of finding their feet. This one, again, it's got a pullback motor. I'm not going to... well, I guess I could demonstrate. Yeah, that was a toy back in the noughties, kids. How far we've come. Nowadays, it's got motors and all sorts of wonderful things. Actually, there's a... is it Hexbug do a version of Matilda? And it's not much bigger than this, so that says a lot for how far we've come. This is all manual action, so the tusks, there's a little lever there, and you go, ugh, and it barely lifts anything. Hang on, let's see her in action. Come on, Exterminator. Yeah, look at that. Look, wee, yay! Can you actually see this? Just about, just barely. I'm a little bit too high up, aren't I? Hang on. Let's, oh yeah, that's the money shot. Right, cool. Yeah, fuck you, Exterminator, yeah. And also, you could stick a chainsaw up her arse, or a flywheel. I would imagine most people had the flywheel because that was just the better weapon, wasn't it? And also, the headrest thing comes off. I don't think it's meant to, but it does, so that's a feature. Although, actually, I remember as a kid, I would take the headrest off because the range of motion when you take it off is significantly better. So, Yeah, just better makes her into a mega bitch, basically. Get your head back on. Right, cool. Who's next? You know what, I'm going to clear a couple of the ones that I've done away. Let's do Sergeant Bash next, because he's a talking point. There he is. Now then, anyone who ever watched the series will probably be like, what's going on here then? That's weird. That doesn't look much like Sergeant Bash at all. And you would be right. For starters, the scale is way off. I mean, let's have a look at that. Put him up to next to Exterminator. Yeah, he should be about twice the size of that. But also, it's the it's this that's going on here, isn't it? Let me get a good shot of. Oh, is that as good as I can get with the zoom? Okay, that's as good as you're getting. It's the face that's going on there, isn't it? That's the troubling thing. And there's a little lever to. Yeah. Also, they've got the jaws the wrong way around. It's thicker on the top and thinner on the bottom for some reason, and it was the other way around. And this shot missiles at people. I'm not making this up. Yeah, the paint job's all wrong, and also it's got a drill in its arse. This was a removable accessory. You could put the saw in there as well, but yeah. All of these early ones had that, where they had like an accessory that went with it, because, I don't know, I guess they thought that kids wanted customization and accessories, and they were wrong. What we wanted was fucking accuracy. This really annoyed me as a kid, that it was so far off. But I've still got one, so yeah. And the last house robot that I've got, so if you're looking forward to Sir Kill-Lot, sorry, he's not here today, is Dead Metal. Here he is, look at that. Hey. Now then, this one's a bit of fun, because you've got the jaws there, and they open, and they're actually pretty good. They snap shut, and they're pretty good. Yeah, I don't have a qualm with that. Pullback motor. Here's a weird one. They've put the wheels in, and then rather than just use that as the natural mounting point for the wheels, that's hollow, and they've got two dummy wheels down here, which is just weird. I just think that's... I don't get why they've done that. But anyway, and here's a thing that a lot of people didn't know, myself included until much later on. This actually... extends out. They didn't make a thing of this on the toy and on the back of it. It didn't say that you could pull it out. I think it was on like a commercial. I saw somebody do it, and I was like, hang about. I'd had the toy for like 2 years at this point. I was like, hang on, and I didn't. I was like, oh my god, that's like discovering an Egyptian tomb right there. And the saw doesn't move, obviously, because that would be ridiculous. It's just a gear. But yeah, that's that. One thing I will say, the mechanism for the jaws there. He's going to be upside down now. They had to take a lot of the cage away to put that in. So I do wonder if maybe there was a better way of doing that, but it's what they did, and it's a toy from 20 years ago, so let's not qualm too much about it now. Ooh, there's a beer here. I wonder what that's like. Nice, juicy, resinous, piney IPA. Really fruity, actually. Really fruity. Ooh. Yeah, it's like pineapple and a Christmas tree had a baby. That's excellent. Right, cool. Let's move on to the competitors, because we've buggered around enough a lot, I think. This is Exterminator. This is a toy that not a lot of people had, because it was an exclusive for this... I don't know how to describe it, really. I think it was called the Gauntlet, the set that it came in, and it was basically 2 ramps and then a platform with a lot of spikes on it that were like air cushion things. The spikes were actually pretty good, I seem to remember, but yeah, this was the reason everyone got it, so you could get Exterminator. Funny thing, they put the axe on upside down for some reason. I don't know why. It's just upside down. It's called Exterminator. And they still got it wrong, because then, even when it's the other way around, it's back to front. So they cocked up every which way, which is hilarious. Similar action to the shunt axe. Except it does this like reboundy thing where it bounces again. So you get a bit more like fast fire action, which is neat. The light doesn't do anything because, you know, that would involve electronics. There is a pullback motor in this. The pullback has like broken in mine, so it's like buried underneath it. And it's got the little self-righting arms that just kind of come out like that. One of mine has melted for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know if I've left this on the oven or something ridiculous, but whatever. It did not come... Here's the thing. This would be the easiest convertible like weapon, surely, because you just have like, you pop off that and put the flipper on instead. They didn't do that. There's no flipper accessory. I think the accessory for this was literally, you got a roll bar to go on the top, and that was it. So that's dumb. And there's the bucket there, which does absolutely nothing. It doesn't lift or anything. It's just a little bucket. So that's fun if you want to recreate Sumo Basho or something. Another sip of beer. Why not? Tastes like an IPA. Fantastic. It tastes like Punk IPA before they gave up. Right, next. Ooh, I'm going to leave him till later. I'm going to do Panic Attack. Yeah, everyone's favourite pedestrian robot. Is it my imagination, or was this thing just the beigest thing? It was a box, and it had little forks, and they went... The only thing that made this good was they had Kim Davis. He was a really good driver, and he was able to... He basically used it as a tool for his excellent driving, because the robot itself wasn't very good. One annoying thing about this one, the forks, they don't reach the floor. So hang on, let me get the zoom. There we go. Gotta love a bit of manual focus. Right, let's get a willing volunteer. Let's get Exterminator. You're the bitch, aren't you? So, can't get under things. You actually have to like lift them and put them on, and then it can like, and it still doesn't really do anything, so yeah, it's a bit rubbish. And the top's just solid plastic. That's not like the self-righting arm or anything, so once it's over, that's game over. You have to like pretend that it could self-right, but they've moulded the hinges on it and stuff like that. It just doesn't do it. So it's basically a dirty great big lump of plastic with wheels that are way too big, because again, you know, they've put the skirts on that's supposed to be to stop things from getting underneath it, and there's a massive great big gap. So yeah, not my favourite. This came with like a football accessory for like recreating the gauntlet from series 1 and 2. Who's next? Let's do Firestorm next. There he is. Oh, isn't he exciting? Yeah, so Firestorm, let me get him close. Oopsie daisy. Oh no, a reveal of what's coming up. I did not think this video through. Oh no. There he is! Yeah, focus range on this thing's terrible. Cool, so that's Firestorm. It was just a wedge, basically. And this suffers from a similar problem that Panic Attack does. For some reason, they put screws right at the bottom, so the wedge, there's a massive gap, again. And the mechanism. On the logo, you pull that back, and the flipper goes, whee! And there's, to be fair to them, there's a bit of detail in there. There's like the CO2 canisters and the pistons and stuff like that, so that's fun. This did also have antennae, but a notorious fault with the toy was that they snapped off, so if you can find one with antennas, good fucking luck to you. I think you'd have to get one that's still in the box to do that if you were looking to collect, but that's fun. Let's get Exterminator back. No, actually, let's get Panic Attack in here. I feel like Exterminator's been enough of a bitch. Let's see how good it is at... Ready for... Hang on. Ooh. Yeah, that was worth it, wasn't it? Right, cool. Let's get those out of shot for now. And let's do Hypnodisc. Why not? Everyone's favourite. Womp. Womp. It's modelled on Series 3 Hypnodisc, this particular puppy. There he is. Isn't he fun? Yeah. Really good mechanism with this, actually. It used some gears, and as it drove forward, the disc spun. So as that moved, the disc also moved. So it was actually a really good little toy. This is one of my favourites. The back on it was interchangeable. And you've got like lots of good detail in there. You've got like motors and cables and what. Hang on. Yeah, that's as good as we're getting. So you've got like motors and cables and wires and all sorts of fun things. And then obviously you've got this massive ruddy great big housing in the middle, which is where the pullback motor goes, which has long since... Oh no, it still works. Oh. And it's got a little self-righting arm on the back. And there's the little checker plate pattern all over it, because it was made out of like checker plate aluminium that they'd stolen off of, I don't know, grids or something, God knows. But that was Hypnodisc. This one's actually got a hole in the middle. I think where it's been rammed into something a bit too... It's got several holes, actually. It's in really bad nick, but yeah, someone's gotten a lot of playtime out of this. And lastly, we've got this. This is Pussycat. I will say that this is not the complete collection that they released. They released things like Dan Tom Kieran, Mr. Psycho and things like that. I never got Cassius Chrome, because, you know, who'd buy him? But yeah, we've got Pussycat right here. So how this one worked, there was like a tiny little elastic band kind of a motor in here, and you would turn the thing one way and it would like spin the other way, and it was really flimsy, and all of them are broken now. And yeah, the paint job on it is a bit weird, it's a bit generic, and it was supposed to, the motor on it is long since broken, I'm pretty sure. Oh no. Whee! So it was supposed to like go forward, and then when it came to a stop it was supposed to like do that. Oh, uh-oh. Okay, well, we've had some destruction today. Yeah, there's not a lot to say about this one. I like it. This one came with a like weird swing set or something like that. I don't quite remember. I remember it was like cinder blocks or some nonsense. You've got the Pussycat logo there. That's nice, isn't it? Yeah, not a lot else to... Oh, actually, this weird design. This isn't on the actual machine, because the actual machine, they had like the caster be one of the eyes, and it was like this cool tattoo pattern. This one, they've just made some random pattern. They've just like, you know, put something together and slapped it on quickly and gone, ah, fuck it, the kids won't notice. And we noticed. Oh, we fucking noticed. We noticed. Anyway, that's the last of the toys, but we're not done quite yet. Ooh. Ooh, I've actually got several of these, but I'm not going to bore people. This was a magazine that got released, and it's a good... It's always been a good indicator in my later life of give people what they want. Because this was the first of 2 Robot Wars magazines, and it was by far the more successful. Look at that, £1.50 for a magazine. It's August 18th, August 2001. It's issue 16. I don't know where the 18 came from there. That's the front cover. It's still got a little toy on it, which is good. And there's a little thing at the back, and it's Robo Chicken versus Pussycat. Actually, you can kind of see what I'm on about with the Pussycat, that you can't really, can you? Because I can't keep this in focus for more than 10 seconds. You'll notice there's no magazine inside. That's because over the time, the, you know, staples and things have deteriorated, so that's actually what the inside is. Reason I picked this one out is it features a fantasy fight with mine and a lot of other people's fan favourite, which is Diosaur. There we are. There's a cartoon between Diosaur and the Creature, which is a fight I would have loved to have seen, because that just sounds ridiculous. These cartoons were sort of notorious for sort of pushing the limits of what is physically possible. Like, for example, there's just bending at the, like, you know, it's not even where the hinge is, just bending, and, you know, things getting thrown all over the place and everything's on fire and all that kind of a thing. Oh yeah, and this always kind of stood out to me. The eye's on a spring for some reason. And there's a thing there for how to draw Evil Weevil. Who remembers Evil Weevil? Nobody. Right, cool. And it featured, like, you know, different battle things, and, you know, this is top 20 maddest moments. You know, obviously it was meant for kids. I'm glad that I've still got one. Oh, here's a piece of... here we are, actually. That's the gauntlet I was talking about earlier. There we go, that's handy, that wasn't planned. There you go, yeah. And what else have we got here? Oh, we've got Lara Croft Tomb Raider magazine. It's a collector's edition, apparently. So that's fun. The official magazine for the hottest summer blockbuster or something, I don't know. Oh, we've got another cartoon here, and it's the Morgue versus Grave Digger. You see what they did there? You see the theme? Yeah. Gravedigger getting more action than it actually did in the actual series. Oh, there we go. You can win an interactive robot. Maybe I should enter that. Do you reckon that 09 number's still working? What else have we got here? Oh, there's Razor. Remember those really annoying wankers that won everything? I didn't like Razor. I know I'm alone with that one, but I could not get behind Razor. Oh, there's another blast from the past, actually. It's a little time capsule, this. FBX magazine, who remembers that? I'm just filling time now, really, aren't I? And we're back to the contents page. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I just wanted to do something a bit different with the beer review because, well, the beer reviews don't do very well, historically, so I thought, if I just get pissed and talk about Robot Wars toys, that might be something a bit different. Normal service will resume next time, because, well, I'm out of toys now. Comment and subscribe and all that bollocks, and there's links to my Patreon down below, which I will use to buy more children's toys on eBay.